Hi, my name is Brittany Thompson, and this is my video for Web 2.0 and mobile apps. It is a demonstration video for William Woods University EDU 580. The first web tool we will be looking at today is Google Forms. I chose this web tool because it can be used by administrators and teachers to gather valuable feedback from meetings, PD, and lessons in a way that is more efficient than traditional paper and pen surveys. This tool is sort of like Socrative and Nearpod in that it allows the creator instant feedback, but it is not like those two apps or web tools in that it wasn't designed for lesson delivery purposes. There are many advantages to using Google Forms. It is easy to use. It can be secured with a password or created for only a small group. It also gives the person filling out the form many different ways to answer, and the results can be sent to the creator of the form. It is also free. There are also many challenges that come along with Google Forms. It's not always the most visually pleasing tool despite being able to add pictures and colors. Some people might not take the time to fill out the survey. Parents and community members might not have the ability. And what I mean there is the access to a computer or mobile device to add valuable input, and too many surveys could overload staff, parents. To get to Google Forms, the first thing you're going to want to do is sign in. You can see that my sign-in's already there, so I'm just going to click sign in. And from this screen, you can see my picture in the upper right-hand corner. I'm going to click the box icon and then click Drive. When you're on the Drive screen, you're going to click New. From New, you're going to want to go to More, and then click Google Forms. Here is the creation screen. Right now, I'm going to fill in a title. Let's see. Friday staff meeting. And I might want to put the date of the staff meeting that I want a reflection on. Down here, you can put a description of what the form is going to be asking of the person or the people taking the survey or filling in the form. And this is where you would insert a question. So I'm just going to type my question. And there is the question type box. So you can do text, paragraph text, multiple choice, checking boxes, and there are several other answers that you can choose. So I'm going to click text so that'll be a quick answer for them. And there's the box that they would type in. All right, click done, and then click add. So I can keep going and adding different types of question boxes. And so I'm going to continue that now. I'm going to type another question. All right, and this time I'm going to try a paragraph text. And you can see that the box is much larger this time. Click done, add another. All right, again, I'm going to type another question for this staff meeting that we had. It is a fictional staff meeting, so it's just sort of taking me a minute. All right, and here I'm going to do the checkbox, the multiple choice. I'm going to do multiple choice. And I'm just going to use each box to put the number in for the rating scale that the question was over. So I'm going to go to 10. Then click OK, and add another question type. And now I'm going to do the check boxes. So this is very similar to the multiple choice, but it's just a checkbox. Checkboxes are good if you would like people to select multiple answers. Again, I'm just using it for a scale. And you're going to click the blue box. All right, and I noticed a typo in my above question, but that's okay. I can click this edit button, and I can go back in and edit my question to be grammatically correct. And I'll just click the blue box when I'm done. All right, we're going to add another question. We're going to choose from a list. So here I will put in my fictitious faculty meeting ideas that were thrown on the table. All right, now there are several other things that you could add to a Google form that you might not want for something like this, but you could always put the date. And again, that might be good if you're time stamping something that you've done, or you want to know when they actually completed the form, like if you give them a timeline to finish. Another thing that you could add is the time. Again, it might be good to timestamp, but if you're doing this for your staff, you might set a day stamp. You know, you have 5 days to complete the staff meeting survey, or 3 days, or whatever you feel like is an appropriate length of time. So I'm just checking back on a couple things. All right, and from here, I'm going to share my survey. So all I'm going to do is click this blue box, send it. I'm going to send the invite. And I want it to be public. So here would be my link to share, and I could email that out. I could also do Google Plus. I could do it on Facebook. I could send it on Twitter. And right now I'm sending it out to myself in an email with a little message. So it just says, please have this completed by the end of the day. And then I'm sending it out. And click create. All right. And that's pretty much it. This would be what it would look like if you previewed it, or what the person would take it. So to get back here's the screen where I created it. I click that box, and it takes me to my preview. So just like the use that I showed you before, it could be used for reflection after a professional development or staff meeting. It could be used for teachers' input for school improvement or further professional development. You could use it for parent input for school improvement or volunteering. It'd even be great for parents to suggest various parent nights they could have, or family nights. And it's also great for community input for school improvement or even outreach. The second web tool that I'd like to introduce to you is Padlet. I chose this web tool because it can be used by administrators and teachers to gather valuable input from teachers, staff, and community members in a way that is more efficient than traditional paper and pen surveys. Padlet is sort of like Today's Meet in that it is a response software. It's also like Google Forms in that it can be used to get feedback from various individuals. Unlike Today's Meet, it can be created to be more visually pleasing. Some of the advantages and strengths of Padlet are that it's easy to use, it can be secured with a password, it's easily shared, it's visually pleasing, its results can easily be found and saved or printed by the. Like many tools, Padlet has its fair share of challenges. If you don't put a password, you can have no idea who's posting, as there is not a requirement for names. no filter if a responder uses inappropriate language, and getting people to respond to postings could be a challenge. Making parents, staff, and community members aware of Padlets that are being created so that they respond is also a great challenge. So you want to start by logging into your Padlet, and here I am going to type in my email and sign in. Mine is prompting me to finish my profile. I have a different one that I use for my class, so I created this one just as an example. So here is your dashboard. What you're going to want to look at is the top of the screen, and you're going to want to click New Padlet. Here is the blank Padlet. You can see it's gray, and there are various tools that I'm showing you right now that are along the side. So that kind of tells you that I'm creating it, what the date is, here's some help, and this is your settings. This is really where we want to be. So you can have a portrait on your Padlet. It's going to show up in the top left-hand corner. I'm going to upload my own picture. So here I go. And I'm going to click on my Fairview logo because I know that it's safe to use. All right, there's my logo. And I'm going to put it into my Padlet. Now, your Padlet is going to want to have a title and a description. So for this Padlet, I'm going to give it a title. I don't think I like that title. Let me just maybe change. All right, yes, parent night ideas. So now I'm going to add a description. And this is going to let the people responding to my Padlet know what it is they're supposed to be doing. All right, there are my directions. And now I'm going to go to my wallpaper settings. So these are all just different wallpapers that they offer you. I'm just going to click through a couple. No. All right, there's one that's actually called Blackboard, and I've used it several times, so I'm going to head on down. And there it is. And you can see that it looks like kind of an old-timey chalkboard, and I really like that. So this is the layout. You can do a freeform layout, which is just wherever the person clicks, a stream layout, which is up and down, and then kind of like a box layout. I don't like the freeform layout because of the reason I'm about to show you. So there's one response and two responses. Now those are just where they're going to be. I don't like that, so I'm going to go in, I'm going to delete that. All right, delete that, and delete that. Okay, so this is a stream, and I'll show you what that would look like in a minute, but it would go up and down whenever I type and give you the example. So this would be visibility. I like to keep mine with a hidden link. It's the first tool that they offer because I don't want anybody who's just searching on Google to find my Padlet. I might make it available on a school website, or I might send links to it to my staff, but I don't necessarily want anybody that's just looking to find it. So I'm going to leave it as a hidden link just like it is. Here are notifications. I'm going to want them to send me notifications of what's happening on my Padlet. And this is where you can give your Padlet its own kind of URL. So if you want it to be easily accessible or have a hash, like something that people can easily search and find, then you can edit it here. You can see me adding one right now, and it's available. But I'm not really going to worry about that on my test session, but so you see kind of how it would look. All right, you can copy it and delete your Padlet as well. So now I'm going to show you the stream, which is what I like. And I'm going to insert a comment that a parent might insert on this Padlet. All right, they might suggest a school carnival, and they might say that they want one because maybe another school also had a school carnival. Now on Padlet, the parent can also link things, they can upload a file, and they can do several different things, including, I believe, webcam. So I'm just going to upload a photo. Again, I'm going to do my Fairview logo just so you can see how that would look if a parent uploaded. And there it is. It's huge. So I don't like the way it looks, and I'm going to exit out, and it's going to go away. I'm going to add my second comment. And now here's where you can see that it's now stacking one comment on top of another, just like a discussion forum. It's a really nice layout. It makes it easier whenever you share it on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, Tumblr, or LinkedIn. Now, when you export it, there are lots of different ways as an image, a PDF, and then several other options. You can also subscribe to this as an RSS feed, or you can email it or print it off. I like the embedded code as well if I'm going to share it, and you can even do a QR code, and you can see that at the bottom. But I'm going to do the embedded link right now, and I'm going to link it to my school website. This isn't the actual school website for my school, but it's a website that I run, and I'm going to show you how I put in an embedded code box. I paste in my embedded code, click off, and there it is. And you can see how easily and accessible it would be to a parent. So uses for Padlet, including parent input, like I showed you, would be reflection for teachers after professional development or staff meetings, teacher input for school improvement or further professional development, and community input for school improvement or outreach. So it's actually very similar in uses to Google Forms, just like I said in the intro. The mobile app that I want to talk to you about today is called Remind. You might have known it as the app known as Remind 101, but they've since dropped the 101, and it is just simply Remind. I chose this mobile app because in today's fast-paced world, parents, teachers, and others don't always have time to read notes that are sent home. We are an instant gratification type of society, so quick blurbs that just get to the meat of the information are what we are looking for. Remind is sort of like Class Messenger in that you can send out information to large groups of people, but unlike Class Messenger, it is not tied to any additional program the way that Class Messenger is tied to Scholastic. There are several advantages and strengths to using Remind. It's easy to use, can be run online or from a phone. The phone number of the person that's sending the messages is kept private. It saves back and forth messages between parents and school, parents and teachers, or even students and teachers. It has mobile apps for both iOS and Android, which means the device outreach is very large. It's also free. Some of the challenges with Remind is getting people to sign up, students or others sending inappropriate messages, possibly anonymously depending on how they signed up. People might be signed up for several classes or the school, which means that they might be receiving too many messages for it to be a valuable app. And some parents can't be reached because they don't have a supported phone for the app. Using Remind. So the very first step to Remind is signing in. So you're definitely a teacher. You're going to sign in. Type in your email and your password. So this would be where your secretary would have the email and password if she were sending the reminds for your building as a school. You can select your school, but I'm not going to do that right now. But I am going to show you how to send a message. So all you have to do is create a class to send messages. So I'm naming this class Fairview School, just like if it were being run by my secretary as just a straight school Padlet. So there's the code that they give me. And I only plan on messaging parents with this, so I would keep that box checked. So instructions for students and parents, they can text this number with the @09567 inside the message part of the text message, and that will sign them up for getting the Remind messages. You can also email to invite parents and students to be part of your Remind network. So if your school does have that information on hand, they could easily import those parent emails and send out the invite. And here is your message center. So what I'm going to want to do is I can attach a file. So if you wanted to send a message, I'm going to do my Fairview logo, and there it is. I am going to send it to my Fairview school class. So this would be if I had parents signed up, they would be the ones receiving this message. So let's say no school tomorrow due to teacher in service, and send, which is awesome. I can get instant feedback from my announcements as well. So that shows that it's sent when it's in that blue box at the bottom. And that's pretty much how easy it is to send a message. Very quick. You can download a flyer to send home, and this is what the flyer looks like. And it tells you guys how to sign up for Remind. Now, if I wanted to, I could also check my subscribers, and you can see that I have 0. And once again, if I really liked it, I could also share what's happening on my Twitter. So you can see that that's me up in the corner, and it would share to my personal Twitter. But if you had a school Twitter, it'd be great to share on your school Twitter. So here's an example of what it would look like if a parent received the message that you sent to them through the Remind system. And then this is chat. So I could send a chat to my parents asking for volunteers, and parents or students could respond back to me whenever they had a chance. There are many uses for the Remind app. You could notify parents of snow days, early out, snow school, and school district events. You could notify staff of professional development meetings. You could send links to your Padlets or Google Forms to parents or teachers so that they can fill them out. And you can send parents and staff messages on chat asking for volunteers for events, including where and how to sign up. Again, this was created by me, Brittany Thompson. Follow me at Twitter at ThompsonRoom105.